Hi, welcome to my channel, Katnip and Chill. I'm your host, Katnip, and today we're going to do an acrylic pour painting. Now, I've actually done a few acrylic pour paintings in the past, and I got pretty good at it, if I do say so myself, but it's been about a year since I've really done one, so we'll see how that goes, see if I remember everything. I'll show you how I do it, I'll show you my trials and tribulations, any mistakes I make, because I find that every flow artist is different and will have different mixtures and different ratios in which they mix their paint with their water or their Floetrol or whatever. And that will actually result in a different look as it pours. So happy to show you mine, and yeah, let's get started. As you can see, my table is quite messy. From previous paint pours, and I found, at first I didn't care, but I found that it actually does mess things up if you're trying to have an even surface, because I also use this table for other things like sewing and etc. So all of these little things, these little dots here, actually provide an uneven surface. So first things first, cover it in plastic. And this is voiceover Katnip taking over, and before we get started with the project, I just want you to hear the audio from the actual video taken, just because it's kind of funny. Hope you can see that. Shit. Fuck. Try this again. No. God, please don't be like this. Oh, actually that might work better. That works a lot. So now that you can see that it's painfully obvious that I'm new at this, let's get started. I like to start my projects in grams. I'll typically put the cup on the scale and then tare it so that it goes down to 0. We start by adding the paint to the cup. But before we do that, I just wanted to show you that all of the paint in there is actually old. I do like to reuse my cups so that they don't end up in the landfill, so I'm pretty much going to use them until I absolutely can't anymore. So when it comes to the paint, I like to put in about 20 grams here of paint to start, and I will add in 20 grams of Floetrol to make it an even 40. As I keep trying. Close enough. I usually do a ratio of 1 to 1 to 1/2 of paint, Floetrol, and water, respectively. Before we go any further, just taking a step back and listening is an extremely important part of the process. You'll see me checking the consistency from time to time and adding more water in order to make the mixture thinner. Because different paint colors are actually a different weight, so it will require some finessing to get the consistency just right. Please don't be like me and pour your paint before wearing gloves. In this case, I am using Artist Loft Ready Mix Pour Paint as a background for my canvas. I don't tend to use it for the actual pour because it has a different outlook than I'd prefer. I use and tend to reuse popsicle sticks for things like stirring, but also for covering up bits of the canvas like this. It's a very useful tool during acrylic pour painting. It's also good to have a good pair of tweezers in order to pick things out of your painting that don't belong, like cat hair. Now in this painting, I'm planning on using a cookie cutter to hold and drag my paint across the canvas. So since we're doing a rainbow feather, we'll start with the pink, then orange, yellow, green, dark blue, light blue, then purple. As you can see, this is a very small cookie cutter, so I can't fit all the paint, but you'll see how I fix that later. Now time for the magic. You know? Oh, we might have to do this over. This part looks really cool, but this part looks really bad. Gosh. And it was in that moment that I realized I just needed to trust the process. 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 After listening to the voices in my head, I realized I missed a crucial step. I use a metal straw from a boba shop that I will never ever use for anything other than paint ever again. Here I'm going to attempt to use some of the ready mix pour gold to act as the center of the feather. I pour it off to the side and I'll dip my popsicle stick in it and trace a line. In this case, I didn't use any silicone oil. I'll typically add that to paint to create more cells, but I was really going for a more airy look this time. And here I attempt to fix the top. As you can see, the white has kind of overtaken all of the color up here. You'll find small bubbles forming as you work, so using a heat gun can be very helpful to pop those bubbles, and can also pop silicone bubbles if you have silicone oil in your paint, creating more vibrant and beautiful cells. Here I'm attempting to break up the more solid bits of color, like the purple blob right there and the blue blob, unsuccessfully. Trust the process. 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 Really trying to fix this here. Trust the process. Here I'm trying to blow in short bursts to get a sort of airy, wispy effect. I'm using the Artist Loft Ready Mix Gold paint in the center here in order to try and make the center a straight gold line. You'll see that I magnificently fail at this and give up. And it's okay to give up sometimes. That's kind of the beauty of pour painting. You're not always going to get exactly what you want, and you kind of just have to let it happen. It's a bit of a lesson of letting go of control and letting the art make itself. I don't know why I keep trying to do the exact same thing I did before, adding more color to fix this problem, but, well, So I absolutely started to hate the top. I ended up swiping it all together. I tried to trust the process, but the process failed me. Or maybe I failed it. Either way, it's gone now and there's no coming back. And as you can see, this actually does happen to me from time to time. You can see the blue underneath the canvas I'm working on from a previous pour painting that I just didn't like. So, reduce, reuse, recycle, am I right? As I pour down more white for the background, I am just praying to the art gods that I don't have to redo everything from start to finish, because it's already been probably like 45 minutes, an hour into the painting itself, not even just counting mixing the paints, and I'm tired. In my opinion, this is looking a lot better already. However, watching this back, I can see where my folly is. I used some paints that I've already had mixed previously. You can see the bottles off to the side because I was too lazy to mix more paint. And unfortunately, these bottles have silicone oil in it, so you can see the cells kind of popping up more so than previously. And so it allows a lot of the white to showcase through. Here's a final view of the painting, and even though it has its flaws, I like it a lot better now. I hope you enjoyed my Let's Paint / tutorial, and I'll see you next time. Bye!